What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Smitty here, and as you guys see on screen here, this video talking about the blog that was put out in regards of the community requests as far as legacy issues and things like that. Now, this isn't fully lay out every single thing, but you know, like, we would like to see specific stuff as far as legacy problems, like to the full detail, but this gives us some of the detail as far as, you know, some of the key things, as well as some new aspects that are going on in Madden 18. So getting right into it here, guys, off-ball injuries you guys have. This is specifically for the simulation setting here. Now, this was something, like I said, I did not see at EA Play. Did not get to really try this out or see if it would trigger, because maybe in the build that we were playing, it wouldn't necessarily happen in that build. So can't say for certain, can't really speak for certain on that. Let's see, off-ball. So you have the off-ball injuries. Definitely have to stay on top of the injury report. When it occurs, you won't see on-field animations, and that's something that they definitely got to build on. So, like, it happened in APF back then. You had the on-field injuries like that. This is something we definitely need to see them build upon, but you know, like the interviews and everything said, making that initial transition over to Frostbite and all that, you know, everything that it took to get the game to where it's at, making that engine transition, I completely understand why it's not as in-depth, but they definitely need to expand upon that tenfold going forward. Now you see here the ball hawk skill mechanic. The thing that I like the most about the ball hawk mechanic is that now it's not a matter of just holding a button down and it does it for you. Now you actually have to time it. You know, like, you have to time when you go after the ball, and at the same time, quarterbacks doing their pump fakes in the midst of it, like it shows out here, QBs can fake you out, so they can still mess up your rhythm even when it comes to that control. So I like that. I like that, you know, internal mechanical function of it. That's pretty tight. I love that the hit stick mechanic is back on just the analog stick, like I was back on PS2 days too. So I'm glad they did that. Plus, they have the high and low stick. So flick it high, you go for a high hit. Low for the, you know, go for the legs. So, you know, if you got that big bruising back, you definitely want to go for the legs, versus smaller backs. You can go pretty much, you probably could go either way. But then that's when you're talking about ball carrier vision and their elusiveness, you know, those ratings accordingly in terms of them being able to escape. So, you know, you could go high, go low. But I'm glad to see that they put it originally back on the stick, you know, where honestly where it should have been, and just stayed there, I should say, instead of using the button. Now, the ball carrier special moves, yes, it definitely was updated. I got to see, you know, I got to see it and mess with it somewhat. I wasn't able to necessarily pull off anything because I just wanted to see how the game played on the higher difficulty levels out the gate. So I was mainly playing on all pro, all Madden simulation. So I didn't necessarily get to try everything out. You know, I didn't get to see it, but it looks I will say this: when the CPU would pull off moves or try to pull off moves, it looked very authentic. Very authentic. So I didn't see, at least when I played, I didn't see any of those scripted sequences play out like how we had in 17, where, like, if you have a direct line on the ball carrier, all of a sudden they do a juke and you just slide out of the way, regardless of, you know, your pursuit angle being proper. So I didn't get to experience any of that. So as far as I know, it's not in there, but we'll see. Let's see. Yep, dropped INTs. Now, this is huge, and once again, this is a main point for the competitive game style. A lot of guys will definitely love this. Heck, even sim guys will love this as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely seeing this being addressed, the dropped INTs, especially when you're in the open field and you have the opportunity to come down with the ball, instead of, you know, especially if it's a CPU teammate, I want to see guys logically go for picks instead of going for swats. let me see here. We already know about the swerve. I'm glad this was definitely addressed. That's a huge one there for the tournament scene, as well as the general online scene. The zone play, I'll just say in general, the zone play is definitely played much tighter. It played a lot smarter when I was playing it at EA Play. So now, did I get to fully evaluate it all? No. Man defense was definitely much better, but like I said, this is going to be something when it comes to the full game, getting to spend, you know, deep dive, spend some good quality time with the game for me to really tell what's really good as far as the gameplay there, as far as how the zones play out across the board. Let's see, and I'll be playing in simulation mode, so that'll be my mainstay in that regard. Then let me see, fumble recovery. Okay, it's nice to see that they definitely did more work on this. I gotta see when it comes to a real scrum for the ball, how it plays out. So that's yet to be determined from me, at least myself personally, from my hands-on experience. One thing, when it comes to, like I spoke about before, guys, using linebackers, corners, DNs, all that stuff, you definitely are going to feel the difference in weight and just how they feel in terms of their movement on the field. So you're not going to be able to just overly diagnose and you know, engage with the line, fall back into coverage, and you can take out 2 to 3 routes with the linebacker. You're not going to be able to do all that. So it's like you still are going to have to pick your poison, even though you are playing with an elite player. It still does matter. You have to be more realistic with your decision making. And then the rat, I'm so glad that this is fully addressed. You know, so this is something, once again, definitely will be testing out. I did not work with the steering on the rat catches, because I know that's something you could definitely do, is steer the rat catch. But I definitely want to get into, you know, this is something I definitely will get into on the practice field and try out firsthand here. Let me see what else here. Yeah, that's the directional control of the rat catch. The size and weight, this is once again a huge aspect for me here. It felt like players felt heavier, you know, like your speed backs or your balance running backs. They felt like they had lesser weight, you know, if they were big, you know, if it was your big fullback or something like that, or a player like that size, or if you're controlling a defensive end versus a tackle, the difference in how they felt as far as weight, like you truly felt it, you know, in terms of trying to control. And same thing when it came to controlling corners, DBs, corners and safeties versus a linebacker as well. So like what I said before. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see how it all finished up when it comes to the final finished product. The quarterback accuracy, see this, in the EA Play build, we only had 8 teams to play with, so it wasn't nearly enough of a sample size for me to truly test it out and see the difference between, you know, the quarterbacks and how they play, to really see that difference. So that's something I'll definitely dive into, but I'm glad to see that this is being even further addressed with a new pass and accuracy system. So I definitely appreciate that. This isn't bad here, making defensive adjustments, because that's something I like to do as well, making adjustments on defense, and the AI won't snap the ball until you make adjustments, until you're done. So I like this. This was a big thing I talked about as well at EA Play when I did my stream before, was the slower players. Like, if you catch a pass in the open field and your player, like, if he gets that space in stride, there's a great chance that he's taking it all the way, you know. And I mean, it's not really the best way to speak it, but like, I had an example where I had Greg Olsen, and I caught, you know, I did a target pass, you know, I led the ball out there, and I dropped the ball right in his lap, in the open space where there was only one or two defenders that could catch him, but he had the momentum and he had the stride going that he was just able to keep his speed going to the point where he was able to take it in for 6. Whereas Madden 17, 16, you know, other installments, they would have caught up with him. So let's see. Now this is something I'll have to get into and really play around with in the practice field, is all of these, the defensive specific hot routes. But I like how basically it's broken down by thirds. You know, like each section and segment of the field, what it is that you're able to do, what zones you're actually able to utilize. Like, I really like this responsibility, how it's not like you could just assign somebody any and everything. Now it's more, you know, logically divided responsibilities based upon whether your defense shifts or where they're at based on formation. So I really do appreciate that. Like, they talk about the alignment here. So but what was your guys' main takeaway from this blog? You know, like, what is it that you liked about it, didn't like, maybe other things you wanted to hear about in the article? Let it be known in the comment section what you guys think. Definitely hit that like button and hit the subscribe button as well for more content from me. And until next time, guys, like I said, looking forward to the game dropping. A lot of streams going down, videos, all that good stuff is going to be happening. So, and I'll link this in the description as well, just in case if you haven't checked it out. So definitely, you know, I'll be back with more. And until next time, you guys, y'all be safe, take care, God bless, peace.